The exciting men's 3,000 metres final just about to get underway. Nick Griggs amongst the athletes to watch, so is Andrew Coscoran, Darragh McElhinney and many more are going to be in the mix here. The full lineup is on your screen.
Big field here, Rory.
Yes, 18 men in total, so the likes of Callum Morgan as well can't be discounted. John Travers, who won this title a couple of years ago as well, in the mix. So a very, very exciting men's 3,000 metres, Katie, going to get underway.
Maybe the most anticipated race of the day?
I think so, yeah. It seems to be discussed as probably the most hotly anticipated finals with so much on the line, but we'll get into that as we get going with the race. But yeah, a lot of contenders and sure to be a great just up for the medals. So to see some of the athletes there, 615 there on screen is Michael Murphy of Tullamore Harriers. 6'10", Callum Morgan, he's an athlete to watch as well. He's had a great season so far, getting his personal best down to around 850, Katie.
3 bronze medals in this event, Rory. Can he upgrade this year?
Yes, he'd be going for a 4th consecutive medal. You also see John Travers, as mentioned. What a great career John Travers has had, and he continues to show up here year after year. 567 there is Darragh McElhinney, a man to watch, and you have Andrew Coscoran there of 142, star of the CAC. World's finalist in the men's 1500 metres.
All eyes on this, Rory. Silence has descended upon us.
Yeah, so 15 laps of the track await these guys. And nerves will be building on the start line, but they're called to their marks here. In the full lineup we have Nick Griggs of Candor Track Club, Philip Murr in Dublin City Harriers, Andrew Coscoran, Star of the Sea, Owen McElhinney of Bantry, Owen's brother Darragh McElhinney, Bantry also, Danny Nugent of Ace Athletics Club, Aaron Hanlon, Drogheda District, Mark Hanrahan, Ennis Track, Gavin Curtin, Denore Harriers. You've got Ushin McGloin of Lagan Valley, Juan Ignacio Penna Raheny Shamrock, John Travers, Denore Harriers, Owen Smith, Tara AC, Aaron Donnelly, Dundrum South Dublin, Luke Kelly, Candor Track Club, Callum Morgan, Candor Track Club, Tony McCambridge, Candor Track Club, and Michael Murphy of Tullamore Harriers. 18 runners and riders, Katie.
First lap out of the way, 37 seconds there for Darragh McElhinney. Callum Morgan, 3 times bronze medalist, right on his shoulder, along with Mark Hanrahan there of Ennis Track. It's pedestrian, Rory.
It is pedestrian. They're all bunched up there, and that's where things could get tricky, Katie, but we'll see how this develops. Darragh McElhinney is 7:36.83, indoor personal best just a couple of weeks ago at the ASIC Sens meet in North Carolina. He sits 3rd on the Irish all-time list for the event indoors. Ahead of him, Nick Griggs with a 7:32 clocking to his name indoors at the Boston Grand Prix meet in January. Andrew Coscoran, the national record holder, 7:30 kg, and I guess on paper Coscoran the favourite, but we will have to see how it develops.
Yeah, slowing even more there. 41 seconds for that second 200, Rory. Even slower, Darragh McElhinney, he just looks like he's jogging. Callum looks like Luke Kelly there of Candor Track Club. He says no, we're not hanging around. Tony McCambridge also taking onto the lead there. They're going to try and push on the pace here. It was just getting a bit ridiculous there. They were practically walking, Rory.
Yeah, they were. So the Candor duo, coached by Mark Kirk, leading us out in 3rd there. Ennis Track's Mark Hanrahan. Darragh McElhinney in 4th. McElhinney, part of the Irish senior men's team who won a medal at the European Cross Country Championships in December. Katie, a memorable medal for that team.
Yeah, absolutely, really memorable day for the club. Keep an eye on Andrew Coscoran and Nick Griggs. They're right in the middle of the field at the moment as it is starting to string out. The pace is picking up a little bit. That 3rd 200 there, 37 seconds, but I think this one's going to be quicker, Rory.
I think it will be. Both, of course, Coscoran and Griggs hold the world indoor A standard for the championships. Darragh McElhinney with the Athletics Ireland B standard. So loads on the line here. The winner of this race automatically selected should they qualify for the championships. McElhinney currently 12 of 15 athletes to go and qualified by the tops list, so a win doesn't guarantee him selection. It does, however, guarantee selection for Coscoran and Griggs if they get across the line first. So much on the line, so much at stake, which makes it so exciting, Katie.
Yeah, I mean, it's very hard to know how to approach these kind of races, but it looks like Tony McCambridge, Luke Kelly and Mark Hanrahan are actually getting a little bit of a gap here on Darragh McElhinney. He's wondering what's going on behind him. Who is behind him? Callum Morgan is right behind Darragh McElhinney. Michael Murphy, John Travers, Philip Marin, Andrew Coscoran. Andrew Coscoran and Nick Griggs are making a move right now. They are moving through the field as Tony McCambridge pushes it on even more.
Yeah, they went through the first K in around about 3:03, so nothing particularly special, but we are moving here, Katie. And the two Candor athletes leading the way from Hanrahan. McElhinney back and forth, and on his shoulder Michael Murphy, an athlete who has had a real breakthrough season, got into 28.54 for 10k on the roads, coached by Robert Denmead, and he's looking to be in the shake-up. He ran really well to finish 6th over 5,000 metres at the National Senior Outdoors last year, so an athlete who couldn't be entirely discounted.
No, absolutely not. And it looks like it's actually Michael Murphy that's trying to bridge the gap between those leading three and the rest of the pack. No one going with him. And do you want to know why, Rory? Because this is a race between the next three men. Andrew Coscoran, Darragh McElhinney and Nick Griggs are all just watching each other. They don't care what's going on up there.
Yeah, the classic game of cat and mouse between these three guys. They're going to literally watch each other and not let each other out of their sights. Every move one makes, the other will watch it and try and react. So it's very exciting, but a bit of a Corsitina effect going on now, Katie, because they're beginning to squeeze up.
Yeah, it's getting exciting. I don't know if you can hear the infield commentator, Fintan Riley, is getting more and more animated as we go on here. They're starting to swallow up these leading athletes now. Andrew Coscoran looks like he is poised and ready to go. 7 laps to go, Rory.
Yeah, Andrew Coscoran just a couple of weeks ago now in Lieven, France, at that World Indoor Tour Gold Meet. Personal best and national record for the 1500 metres. He's coached by Helen Clitheroe in Manchester, so he is in the form of his life, clearly, Katie. And obviously when getting into the world final of the 1500 metres in Tokyo last year, he's a man in form.
Yeah, Andrew's been having a really great season. The last 2 years in particular have been fantastic for him. He's going to turn 30 this year, Rory, really showing his maturity here today as to how to handle this. It can be really hard mentally coming to a race when there's so much on the line such as this.
Yeah, so there's 11 athletes in this lead group, and you can see the pace gradually starting to increase, Katie. They'll get a 2k split very shortly, but it's going to be a blockbuster last 5 laps, Katie, and they'll come through 2k now in just a second.
Yeah, we'll get that 2k split for you. As it's still Luke Kelly from Candor Track Club, from Tony McCambridge, Darragh McElhinney and Andrew Coscoran and Nick Griggs going really wide. Griggs actually pushing past teammate Callum Morgan. He's saying we might be teammates, but I want to make sure I'm in the best position. Yeah,
rivals on the track for now, and for the first time it just gets a bit bumpy there as Coscoran kind of moves to the front.
Yeah, this
very tight. McElhinney is now in the lead up there.
I think it's looking a bit risky, Rory. Hopefully we don't lose anyone here. The risk of tripping and falling is going to be incredibly high in these last 4 laps as we enter the last 800 metres of this race. All 3 athletes poised and ready to go, Callum Morgan included.
Yeah, the 3 main contenders literally locked stride for stride down the back straight. It's Coscoran, it's McElhinney, it's Griggs, and then in behind it's Callum Morgan. There's a lot of guys that aren't really out of this, and just John Travers you see in the black and white of the Nor Harriers, they see the Dublin club. He's moving up, and again, a man who's won here before, Katie. He'll fear no one.
He is a fantastic championship racer as well. Travers, you can never ever count him out, especially in KG races such as this. 3 laps to go. Michael Murphy making a big move around the outside there. What's he going to do here?
Yeah, Michael Murphy, former student at GCU, he's making his move from Kilbeggan in County Westmeath. He currently sits in 4th, but out front, Coscoran, McElhinney, Griggs, they're still together. And Katie, we're going to have quite the final 400 metres here.
Yeah, it's getting very cagey, Rory. Very cagey indeed. Coming to the last 400 metres now. Coscoran is in the lead. Griggs is tucked in. Who is going to take it? The pace is not ramped up quite as quickly as I expected. Morgan and Murphy still in there, but it looks like John Travers may be going back there. Philip Marin of DCH also moving through there.
Yeah, Philip Marin is there in 6th position and not entirely out of it, but the 3 guys leading the way and Callum Morgan still not out of it. This is going to be one hell of a final lap. Coscoran, McElhinney, Griggs, Morgan not out of it. 1 to go, they hear the bell. Here we go. Coscoran, McElhinney sits on his shoulders. McElhinney now going to try and make his move. Griggs sitting in 3rd and he's going to make a move out wide. Here goes McElhinney. He's decided to kick. Just getting a bit bumpy there between the 2 guys. Coscoran tripping up McElhinney. Coscoran's down. And now it's between McElhinney and Griggs as they enter the home straight. And Griggs moves 1. And it's going to be Nick Griggs who takes his first ever senior indoor title and seals his place on the plane to Poland for the World Indoor Championships. What a race, Katie.
I hope Andrew Coscoran's okay. Looks like quite a bad heavy fall there. Nick Griggs' first ever senior title. He has never won a national championship title before. I am sure he is delighted with that. You can see exactly what it meant. He was primed for today. There was a lot on the line, Rory, and he has proven that and hugging my dad, of course. I suppose I should probably explain my biases there, kept it to myself. But yeah, my dad will be delighted with that performance. He absolutely knew the pressure of this, only finding out last week that he needed to win today to secure his place on the plane to Poland for next month's World Indoor Championships, securing his position in his first global indoor championships.
Yeah, Katie's dad, of course, Mark Kirk, hosting so many of those athletes in Candor Track Club. We'll just see a bit of a replay there. Michael Murphy goes over and congratulates Nick Griggs. Wow, what a race. That certainly gave us quite the excitement, Katie.
Yeah, just sending our wishes to Andrew Coscoran. I'm sure that was incredibly disappointing. A little bit of a battle with Darragh McElhinney on that top bend. I'm sure we're getting another look at it here now, Rory. Yeah, Coscoran trips and then I think stumbles and rolls onto the track, potentially just a bit of a clash of arms there with Darragh McElhinney. We've got another angle. What do you make of it, Rory?
Yeah, it just got so bumpy between them. We warned about the possibility of this happening. He kind of got a bit caught with McElhinney and then was down, and McElhinney had to chop his stride. Griggs had to go wide. Poor Andrew Coscoran, it's a shame to see. But that's racing indoors, Katie.
Yeah, indoor racing. It is just, to be honest, in the final lap, Rory, I was thinking Griggs is not in a good position here, but given what happened, actually hanging back was probably a better move given what happened there.
Long jump competition, which will be starting now.